The Avenue Trophy race, the pre-1966 touring cars, Ford Mustangs on the front of the grid. Mike Dowd in number 88 is on pole position, and Mike Wrigley with his familiar silver and blue car is alongside him. The second row of the grid, Wesley Harding lining up alongside Chris Clarkson. The race gets underway there now. The cars accelerate off down towards Oulton Park corner. The two Mustangs side by side, but it is going to be Mike Dowd then who leads the way and making a very good move up on the inside to take second place now. Wesley Harding, Mike Wrigley going a little bit wide and losing places. Henry Mann in the familiar red and gold colours of his father Alan Mann Racing's team, running a bit wide there at Oulton Park corner. On board with Nick Swift. Ahead of him is Roberto Moreno, but leading the mini battle from the fourth row of the grid there in the green Cooper S is Christian Devereaux. Tremendous first couple of corners from him. So Mike Dowd leads the way. He's being chased by Wesley Harding and then rumbling his way up into third place. Look, number 73, Chris Clarkson there in the blue Ford Falcon Sprint. Dwarf in the minis, and Roberto Moreno now has hit the front of the mini battle because his Cooper S has gone ahead of Devereaux's car, and Nick Swift is right up behind them. That is going to be a superb fight between those three Cooper S's, but up front, Mike Dowd is getting away. Wesley Harding coming under pressure as well now. Chris Clarkson up alongside him. On board with Swift. Devereaux back into the lead of the mini battle. Roberto Moreno driving Ron Maven's car. Ron Maven, the man that is behind Masters Historic Racing. It's his baby. And this mini being driven quicker than it's ever gone before. Roberto Moreno last raced here in 1982 in a Formula 3 car. That was on the short circuit, the Foster's circuit. Oulton Park has grown a bit since then. It's gone back to its original incarnation in a sense, with the Shallows having been put back onto the circuit that's used. And as he comes out of Knickerbrook corner now, he's right on the tail. Roberto Moreno of the green mini in the hands of Christian Devereaux. Climbing uphill, battle on for second place. Look ahead of them. Chris Clarkson there in the blue Ford Falcon Sprint, looking for a way past Wesley Harding. So it's Mustangs first and second, and Mike Wrigley, after his poor start, really struggling now to come back at the Cooper S's. Nick Swift dives up the inside of Christian Devereaux. Roberto Moreno leads the way then of the Cooper S battle. Nick Swift goes through to second place. And Nick has been rubbing his hands with glee at the thought of a battle against Roberto Moreno here. But at the moment, Roberto leads the way. Moreno was the best of the mini qualifiers as well, despite having never raced this car, and despite having never raced on this current configuration of Oulton Park. That didn't phase the ex-corner 3 driver one little bit. There he is, he leads the way in that mini fight as they come over the line. And Mike Wrigley then, with all of that power from the V8 Mustang, growls his way up the inside. He tries to get past Nick Swift and doesn't do it because Swift attacks on the inside to get past Moreno. And Christian Devereaux, there goes mini crossing, way out wide, coming out of Oulton Park corner. Fantastic battle this. On board with Nick Swift, Roberto Moreno ahead of him, and Swift making his move up on the inside. It's very, very close indeed, but Roberto Moreno just hangs on to the place. Swift pulls out, has a look as they go along lakeside straight. The two Cooper S's together, and Mike Wrigley goes around the outside and gets to the place. Look, heading towards the left-hand Rhode Island bend. He's done it, he's gone through, and that's Wesley Harding going off the road, just up the road ahead of them. He was second, now he's in all sorts of strife up against the barrier. So Mike Dowd leads the way. Second is Chris Clarkson's Falcon Sprint. Third now is Wrigley. Fourth is Moreno. Fifth is Swift in the white Cooper S. Sixth behind him. Now you can see Christian Devereaux. So the minis getting themselves higher up the order, but that really is by default. Off the road has got Wesley Harding. Mike Wrigley, even though he's worked his way past the Cooper S's, look, he's not really storming away from them. Down they come, towards his lots, then towards Knickerbrook corner. Mike Dowd leading this battle at the moment. Up front, second, Chris Clarkson in the Falcon Sprint. Mike Wrigley third. And the Cortinas now starting to wake up. Look further back, you can see there, hordes of them pouring down towards the Hislock sequence of corners. Nick Naismith, 77, going well in his Cortina. Also got the red and gold car of Henry Mann. New car for him, his original one having been totaled at Spa by John Young last year. And number 7 there, another of the quick Cooper S's in the race. Andrew Smith sharing the car with Joe Twyman. Both often quick young drivers. Andrew Smith has had quite a bit of success with Masters in a Lola T70. And now, right on the back, look at Cortina in the hands of David Hall, the man from the Isle of Man, just staying ahead of the Cooper S as they come out of Druids. Down towards Lodge corner. Roberto Moreno keeps Nick Swift at bay. And Henry Mann now starting to close onto the back of number 77, Nick Naismith's Cortina. 366 touring car grid running for the Avenue Trophy here at Oulton Park. Mike Wrigley, in the meantime, looking the Mustang, getting himself onto terms now with Chris Clarkson in the Ford Falcon Sprint. Roberto Moreno flings the Cooper S through Old Hall. Nick Swift right up behind him now. Swift challenged here, a lap ago. Is he going to be able to make a move this time? Let's see. Through Denton's, down towards Cascades. He's not quite as close as he was, but he's closing, under braking. Engine tuner Neil Brown there, up in the back of the grid in the Cortina, goes through. Only his second ever race this for Neil Brown. He's ahead of Chris Scragg. Roberto Moreno's mini though in the pit lane. Moreno's got a problem.
It was fun while it lasted. We have an engine problem. Not sure what it is. Maybe he dropped a valve or something. It's amazing because it was so much enjoyment out there. I hadn't had that for a long time, so it's fantastic to be racing here at the Masters. Thank you very much for Ron to have invited me, and hopefully we'll do a bit more later on sometime.
It'd be good to see Roberto Moreno back in historic racing. The way he's driven the Mini, not unexpectedly, very quick indeed. He's not the only one inside though. Nick Naismith's Cortina is in the pit lane drama for the Ford driver. The pit stop window is open here at Oulton Park in the pre-66 touring car race for the Avenue Trophy. We saw Till Bechtolsheimer's Alfa Romeo Junior Sprint coming into the pit lane. Also, Glyn Smith's Mini is in, and there, Henry Mann, and he's one of the drivers going solo in this. There are double driver entries, there are single driver entries. Henry Mann, therefore, can stay in the car. So too Christian Devereux. He's doing the hour solo in his Mini. Wesley Harding down the pit lane. He lost time early on with a big over out on the circuit. But the car that was leading before the pit window, the Ford Mustang of Mike Dowd and Jeremy Cook, has been taken over by Jeremy Cook, who is not as quick as Mike Dowd. And what this now means is the gap has come right down there. You can see the evidence of it. It's Jeremy Cook in the Mustang leading the way, but only just. Henry Mann storming on now, up into second place, getting a bit sideways as he goes there through Britain, up towards Hilltop. And the Cortina, that started on the 5th row of the grid in the hands of Henry Mann, is now fighting for race honours as we come towards the end of the hour, down towards the inside line. This is for his lots, this is for the lead, and is he going to do it? Yes, he does! Henry Mann goes through into the lead. Second then is Jeremy Cook, and not that far behind the pair of them. Another of the Cortinas here in the hands of David Hall, who's going extremely well. This Cortina, new for Henry Mann this weekend. His earlier car, a very nasty accident at Spa at the end of last season. This has been built up for him over the winter. And how about this for a little and large battle? Chris Stragg's Jaguar, John Butson at the wheel of it, right alongside the Earnshaw family Cooper S, that was started by Russell Earnshaw. Now has Mark at the wheel of it. The two of them absolutely together, going up towards Britain's big lock-up from the Cooper S, and off goes Mark Earnshaw. Dips the bollards aside, going to be able to rejoin from there, but that rather lets the Jaguar escape. So John Butson on his merry way, and Earnshaw back into the race. Change for second place in the background look. David Hall in the Cortina, level with Jeremy Cook. And Cook, I'm afraid, just can't match the pace of Mike Dowd. He's in third spot, but he's leading his class as well for the bigger engine cars. But now the two Lotus Cortinas, the first the red gold car of Henry Mann, the second is white and green traditional Lotus Cortina livery here in the hands of David Hall, now up and past it. We make the run up towards Britain's. David Hall driving the race of his life here. What can he do about Henry Mann? He's really hustling on in the Cortina as it wriggles its way through Britain's. A little bit sideways there with Jim Clark escapades that Cortina. Now John Butzel, who is on a different lap from the Cooper S ahead of him, Christian Devereux, has been caught again by Mark Earnshaw, and this is the battle now for 7th place. John Butzel is ahead, but only just. Earnshaw squeezing up alongside him as they come out of Shell. But with that back against the Mini ahead of them, that old Christian Devereux, so it's between the Jaguar and the second of those Minis for 7th place. On the rather more nimble Cooper S looking for a way through as Mark Earnshaw wriggles his way now out of Britain's up towards Hilltop. Henry Mann takes the checkered flag though to win the Avenue Trophy. Pre-1966 touring cars. A great drive up from 10th on the grid in the Lotus Cortina. David Hall taking second behind him. Now what's going to happen for this 7th place battle as they come up towards the line? They're virtually overlapping as they come past the pits, and as they cross the line, it is just the Cooper S that takes the place. Mark Earnshaw ahead of John Butzel by 81 thousandths of a second. That's how close it was for 7th. The top 6 ahead of them though, led home by the Cortina of Henry Mann, a delighted winner.
It was, yeah. I had no idea that I won it when I got back. You know, they didn't tell me on the pit wall, so you know, I was a bit in the dark there. But yeah, it was good fun race. I was thinking about letting David pass because it was so much pressure, but it worked out well in the end.
Alongside the Masters European Festivals, a series